Ooh. Okay.
Spooky.
Let's have some stories here. Kendall drudged up some stories. And actually, I haven't read these before, so it is what it is. I'm gonna start with the more plausible of the two.
Well,
right.
I mean, both of them, have their pros and cons, but whatever. Let's just read them. Let's go.
Okay, well, way to hype it up.
I know.
The same kid has been trick-or-treating me for the last 10 years. What?
Yeah.
Halloween is right around the corner.
True statement.
Yeah. And it's the time of year I dread more than any other.
Why?
What? Why? You fucking pussy, dude? Come on, it's the best time of year.
It really is, though.
What an asshole. I hate this guy. Dread more than any other. Get over yourself, dude. More than the anniversary of my father's death? What? Holy shit. Hang on a second. We're going to stop for a moment. This guy hates Halloween more than the death date of his father.
That's what he said. That's what the man said, Max.
Maybe his father died on Halloween.
Oh.
If his father died on Halloween because of Halloween, maybe it's understandable.
Right, he got spooked by some goblin and had a heart attack, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe like a giant Halloween decoration fell on him and killed him.
Or maybe just diabetic shock from too much candy.
Or the Great Pumpkin flipped his truck over and tore him apart. Okay, like, that's the only reason you can hate Halloween more than your father ganked.
I don't know. The Great Pumpkin flipping over a truck and eating a dude, that's pretty badass.
But when it's your dad, and maybe you
true.
like your dad, yeah. It's
yeah.
like,
Okay.
Bummer, huh? I guess you would have a vendetta, like, I gotta kill that son of a bitch now. I'm going after him. Okay. I'm not gonna even finish that first sentence. It pisses me off so much. So, it all started a decade ago. I was 25 back then. And the first time I felt too old to go out knocking on my neighbor's door asking for treats, I had not... What? Boy, this is going to be a long video if I have to keep stopping every sentence this guy says. He stopped trick-or-treating at Halloween? At like 25 years old?
Oh, isn't there like a law that says you gotta stop?
What the fuck?
Oh, what?
That's wacky, dude. It sounds like you love Halloween to me. If you're hanging around 10 years after you should be done, it sounds like you like it, dude. Jeez. I was 25 back then, and the first time I felt too old to go out knocking on my neighbor's door asking for treats. Okay, yeah, sure, you hate Halloween. I had not long moved out of my parents' house and had found a quiet little house share. What? With 3 other guys. This is a British dude. They had all gone to get pissed. Oh, he's so British.
Yeah.
While I stayed in doing work that was long overdue. Maybe they don't have that trick-or-treat law over there.
Oh. I mean, I don't know if it's actually a law or not.
It should be, because it's creepy.
Yeah, that's the creepiest thing about Halloween.
Halloween that year was typical cheesy 80 movies affair. The wind was howling like a starved wolf, and the rain lashed harder than a sadistic slave master.
Okay, Shakespeare, calm down. I need you to take it down a notch.
I wonder if I should do a British voice. Like,
I wonder if we should get Ollie to read this.
Oh, yeah. The whole gimmick bored me. What if this is his story? The whole gimmick bored me. Yeah. The whole gimmick bored me rigid. Whoa. So, when the first groups of children turned up begging for charity, dude.
What? Dude.
It's Halloween, man. You went until you were 25.
Right. Not to mention, it's like, it's socially acceptable on Halloween night to give out candy.
You can turn off your light, dude.
Yeah, if you want to be a humbug, you turn off your light and you deal with the consequences. Or you say, sorry, I'm out of candy. I ran out. Like, come on. Yeah.
I promptly shut the door in their faces. Why open it in the first place? Their costume were profoundly homemade with a bargain supermarket vibe to all of them. Lack of imagination. I'm sorry. This guy's a cunt. This guy's as he would say, he's a proper cunt.
I thought your word was shunt.
Okay, he's a proper shunt. It was around 10:30 p.m. that I first saw the kid. He couldn't have been any older than 8. He was with 3 other children, decked head to toe, flowing black robes with an assortment of Grim Reaper masks adorning their tiny faces. This one lad, however, had gone all out, more likely his parents had, to terrify. He wore rags so tattered and torn that they could hardly be called clothes. He was barefoot with his feet scabbed and ripped and covered in congealed blood. His skin had been discolored to give it a putrefied appearance. There was, however, no odor to him. He spells odor with the O-U. As I fixated upon the boy, okay, I began to realize that none of his companions seemed to notice he was there, nor the spine-chilling gash that ran across his neck, or how his eyes bulged with permanent sense of horror. Whilst I was clearing away the other kids, this one boy just stood and stared right at me. He made no movement other than to offer a festering right hand to me, presumably for sweets. I finally snapped out of my delirium and slammed the door in his face. That was 10 years ago, and I still remember every rivulet? Every drop of water running down his face. I'm just saying dropping. What the fuck is a rivulet?
I guess, I don't know.
Okay,
maybe like how water leaves a little path behind it, a trail?
What the hell?
I don't know.
That's fucking dumb.
This is why the colonies left, okay?
That shit. That's stupid bullshit.
Not the taxation.
Not the religion. It's the stupid shit. Running down his face. How he didn't seem to register the burning cold against his ruined skin. How he gave no response when I told him to get the fuck off my garden. That night, I didn't answer the door to any more disturbers because I sensed that the kid would still be out there. When I went to bed that night, I checked quickly out my bathroom window, which overhung the front door, to see him standing at the end of my garden, staring into my face, arms still extended. I had woke the following morning to find my property thankfully childless and began to put him down to being more of a symptom of my tiring day at work, and slowly my brain deleted him from its cache. Okay, alright. Just say memory.
Yeah.
That was until the following October 31st. Fewer trick-or-treaters that year, just a handful of people barely even trying to spook. Some asking for money, and 1 or 2 for drugs. Jesus.
What?
They have a problem over there, dude.
Yeah, what the heck?
It was becoming increasingly clear that Halloween was falling by the wayside in the neighborhood. I myself, okay, asshole, I myself was content to settle myself in my living room. My housemates had all moved out and left me over the last 12 months. I wonder why, dude. I wonder why. You sound like a fucking asswipe. With bourbon and a few softcore movies to fall into a deep sleep, nice. Which I was rudely awoken from at 10:30 on the dot. God, this guy sounds like the biggest loser on planet Earth. Jesus. That's not to say that something woke me, but I definitely jerked out of a potentially nice slumber. I was hit by that fairly common chill that some people get when someone, quote unquote, walks over your grave. What? Never heard of this. Every inch of my skin pulsed and stood on end like a gazelle sensing a predator. Dozily, I wandered into the kitchen to grab a glass of water. While I was refreshing myself over the sink, I made that awful decision to look up, and I saw a sight that haunts me to this day. The boy from the year before, his face pressed up against my window. Okay. Well,
that's unfortunate.
That's shunty. I don't like that. His face pressed up against my window, completely expressionless, with those wild bulging eyes locking on me. Unfocused, I jumped back, hitting the unit on the other side of the kitchen, giving me a searing pain in the back of my head. All the while, the boy continued to stand there looking right into my kitchen. He made no movement to try and break the window. In fact, he showed no signs of wanting to hurt me at all. His hand was still outstretched, and the quote-unquote makeup that he wore on last year's Halloween still etched his face, though more tatty than then, as though it had decomposed slightly. I slinked up to bed, and the next day, as before, he was gone. I was beginning to think a prank was being played on me. Now, this happened every day in Halloween since that day in 2007. This boy has turned up, either on his own or with a group that doesn't know he's there. He just stares at me. I watched him until 2 a.m. a few years ago whilst he stood at the bottom of my back garden staring up into my bedroom. I thought about calling the police once or twice, but he showed no signs of aggression, so I don't know how much help they would be. What worries me is that he has not aged once over a decade. Anyway, with Halloween so close, I just wanted to get this out there. I suspect that he will be back this year, and for once I will toughen up and speak to him. I am 35 after all, and lonely and wifeless probably, in a house I don't own, and he's just an orphan in Harry Potter's hand-me-downs. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Or husbandless, whatever you want.
Yeah, we don't judge. Whatever. You're still a shunt at the end of the day.
What the fuck? There's a lot of scarier things here than the kid. Anyway, that's no good. You wouldn't want to look up and see a kid trick-or-treater in your window. Anybody in your window.
Yeah, in your window, or just standing in your yard staring up at you. That's...
Yeah.
I mean, I get not calling the cops, because in England, trespassing actually isn't a really big crime. It's not much they can do to you if you're trespassing. It's not a major offense, so...
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, strangest thing.
Yeah. I remember when Rocky went to London and he saw DMX. And
did he really?
And that was also the time when I think it was the guy that was like stabbing a bunch of people. I was like, Rocky, you went there when all these people were getting stabbed. He's like, oh yeah. Somebody got stabbed down the street from me, but I saw DMX at a mall. It's like, okay, all right. Okay.
Sorry about the dead people, but I saw this rapper from the mid-2000s, so that's okay.
Okay, Rocky. It's fine.
Such a sweet lad.
Well, that's no good. That's a pretty good story.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an asshole that told it, but that's fine.
Yeah, I feel like they could have built it up a little better, and not just made me immediately lose interest because the storyteller was bleh.
Yeah.
All right.
You see now, though, Kendall, you're spoiled by backcountry. Like that's the best build-up ever in the whole world of movies, and you're spoiled by it.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. For a movie that was shot in, I think, 16 days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it didn't take them long to shoot the film.
God, it probably didn't cost anything either. Most of the money probably went to the bear.
To the bear training, insurance, and just getting the equipment out there, because I'm sure that was not easy to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's...
I guess you have to pay people, but come on. That's not even... That's... Okay.
Not when you tell them they're going to be part of one of the best, independent, horror films that's come out in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they're glad to work for free.
Budget. Let's find this out here. Can I find it out?
Mid-Halloween madness. Let's go on our country.
No budget's listed. Huh.
Really?
Yeah, I can't find it anywhere. Financial information on backcountry. There's sales, but I want to know how much it costs to make. I don't know. I have no idea. Huh. Okay, alright. We're going to move on to the next one here.
Huh.
The Valley of the Headless Men. Not man, men.
Oh, you're right. I kept reading it as man.
Yeah, I guess there's multiple. This one's shorter. I love a remote and largely unexplored places. The writer says, not me. Get me out of there.
Dude, that's where the bears live.
Yeah, fuck that. And this is one of my favorites. Nahanni National Park is located in Canada's Northwest Territories. Is best described by this blog. I will not be clicking on it. Quote, end quote, one of the last truly unexplored places in the world, lying above the 60th parallel. It is accessible only by air, water, or long overland journey from the village of Tungsten. As a result, much of the area remains unexplored, despite being declared a national park in 1976 and a World Heritage Site in 1978. End quote. The area of the park, known as the 200-Mile Gorge, that's what they called your mom. No, I'm kidding. Oh, that's what they called the guy's mom that wrote the last story.
Okay.
Nicknamed the Valley of the Headless Men. And this list verse excerpt explains why. I will not be clicking on that either. Get all your weird websites away from me. There's a quote from list verse, whatever the fuck that is. What is that?
I'll click it.
I'm not clicking that.
It's literally a website that just generates lists from topics that are thrown at it.
Okay. I'm glad we're reading from it. The 200-Mile Gorge has become infamous due to a number of gruesome deaths and many disappearances, earning itself the eerie name, the Valley of the Headless Men. Sounds like a Ray Harryhausen movie.
It does.
Anomalies first began in 1908 when the... we have MacLeod. The MacLeod brothers came prospecting for gold in the valley. Nothing was heard or seen of the brothers for a whole year until their decapitated bodies were found near a river. 9 years later. Oh, I'm sorry. 9 years later, the Swiss prospector... There was a
period, Max.
Yeah. The Swiss prospector Martin Jorgensen was the next to succumb to the valley when his headless corpse was found. In 1945, a miner from Ontario was found in a sleeping bag with his head cut from his shoulders. Well, this is getting interesting. While skeptics of an unknown power at work in the valley would put grisly mutilations down to feuding gold prospectors or hostile Indians, there are other strange happenings in the area which add to the valley's mysteriousness. Isn't that mystery?
Yeah.
Is mysteriousness a word? Isn't that mystery? You just say mystery. Okay. Or okay. The fiercely... I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me. The fiercely renowned Naha tribe simply vanished from the area a few years prior to the first deaths. Other Indians of the area have avoided the valley for centuries, claiming an unknown evil haunts it. Many parts of the valley remain unexplored, and there are tales of the valley holds an entrance to Hollow Earth. Others believe that the valley is home to a lost world. Lush greenery and tropical climate, due to the hot springs generating warm air, as well as untapped gold mines and wandering Sasquatches. While a haven for Bigfoot remains unlikely, one thing is for certain: something strange works in the Nahanni Valley. Are you telling me that there's a land that time forgot?
That's what this sounds like.
You know, Bolu was just Bigfoot.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, it is actually weird that if these deaths are real, somebody or something was ripping people's heads off.
Right.
That's creepy. That ain't no good. Don't like that. But, yeah, I wonder if this stuff is true.
Well, here's the thing. When you go, like I said, that's why this one is fun, because you go to the Wikipedia page and you scroll down to where it says history,
Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff is listed there.
Huh.
Yeah. In fact, I'm reading it right now that there is no confirmed significant gold finds there. The legend of the prospectors is real.
Yeah.
So they were found headless in 1908. And there's
weird.
And just like the Lost Dutchman mine, there's supposedly a Lost McLeod mine somewhere in the park.
Okay. Well, that's creepy. Maybe we'll have to look into that a little bit more. Interesting. Huh. Okay. Well, there's a few for Halloween Madness, everybody.
Yeah.
And we'll have this. You know what? I'm just going to send the audio of this to you today and put it up tonight.
Hot.
Yeah.
Deep and hot.
I don't know. Any last thoughts?
So that British guy is a shunt. Always, be polite. If your light's on, people are going to come knocking on Halloween. Be nice to them. If you don't want them, turn off the light. People should know to leave you alone then. All right? That's kind of the mutual agreement. Thing number 2, Valley of Headless Men sounds pretty badass.
Yeah, and especially if it's a real land that time forgot kind of situation.
I mean, the location is real. The McLeods were found without heads. They were gold miners. Don't see anything here about Bigfoot and the other nonsense, but...
Am I the only one that's drawing the connection of Doug McClure starred in Land That Time Forgot, and the McLeods got their heads torn off?
It was lizard men.
Hollow Earth!
No, the mole men! The mole men came up and took their heads!
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh no. Okay. Well, that's nice. I mean, Halloween.
Halloween, guys.
Halloween. So, we'll see you soon.
Be spooky to each other, but
yeah,
in a respectful way.
Do scary bathroom shit to each other.
Oh, come on, man. That's, that's uncomfortable stuff. I don't like that. Something about mirrors and dark and chanting. Oh. Anyway.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm out.
Peace.